My dear child, there are seasons when you look back and wonder why the journey has taken so long, why the prayers seemed unanswered, and why the dreams you carried have not unfolded the way you imagined. But I want you to know that I have seen every step, every tear, every prayer, and every moment you chose to keep believing when giving up felt easier, and none of it has been wasted, because what looked like delay was often preparation. What felt like silence was not abandonment, and what seemed like a closed door was sometimes protection for the greater purpose I was preparing for you. So do not measure your future by your past, because I am not finished with your story, and I am able to bring unexpected opportunities, restoration, wisdom, peace, and new beginnings into your life in ways you could never arrange on your own. But remember that my timing is not a promise that everything will happen instantly or exactly as you imagine. It is an invitation to trust me one step at a time. So bring your dreams back to me. Bring your unanswered prayers back to me. And bring the parts of your heart you stopped believing could ever change. Because I can breathe new hope into places that feel forgotten. And I can use even the painful chapters of your life to prepare you to encourage someone else. Your scars do not disqualify you. They can become evidence of what you survived and testimony of the grace that carried you through. And when you feel tired, remember that you do not have to carry everything alone. I am near to the brokenhearted, I give strength to the weary, and I invite you to rest instead of constantly striving, because your worth is not measured by your productivity, your income, your achievements, your health, your relationships, or the opinions of other people. Your identity begins with this truth. You are loved by God, you are created with purpose, and your life matters. So stop allowing old labels to define you. You are not your mistakes, you are not your failures, you are not your disappointments, and you're not the worst thing that ever happened to you. You are my beloved child, and there is still purpose ahead of you. Now I want you to pay attention to the gifts, passions, and abilities I have placed inside you, that creative idea you keep returning to, that desire to help people, that skill you have overlooked because it feels natural to you. Those things may be part of the way you're meant to serve others. So begin where you are, use what you have, and do not wait until everything is perfect, because sometimes purpose becomes clearer while you're walking, not while you are standing still. And I also want to change the way you speak to yourself, because your inner dialogue matters. So replace words of defeat with words of faith. Replace hopelessness with prayer. Replace constant fear with truth. And when circumstances are difficult, do not pretend the problem does not exist. Simply refuse to let the problem become bigger than your God. Speak peace over your home, wisdom over your decisions, courage over your future, and hope over your heart. Fill your mind with Scripture until God's truth becomes stronger in you than the voices of fear, comparison, and doubt. And when people misunderstand you, remember that you do not have to spend your entire life defending yourself. Let your character speak. Walk with integrity. Forgive when you can. Establish healthy boundaries when necessary. And trust God with the parts of your reputation you cannot control. Some relationships may be restored. Some may change. And some may need distance. But you do not have to live trapped by bitterness, because freedom begins when you release revenge and place justice in God's hands. And if you're facing financial pressure, do not let shame convince you that your circumstances define your value. Ask God for wisdom. Learn to manage what you have. Look for honest opportunities. Develop your skills. Save when possible. Give with wisdom and generosity. And remain open to creative ways to improve your situation. Because provision can come through unexpected opportunities, but wisdom is needed to recognize and steward them well. And if you're walking through physical or emotional pain, please do not feel that you must choose between faith and appropriate care. Pray. Seek wise medical help when needed. Follow sound guidance. And continue trusting God for strength, comfort, and healing. Because faith does not require you to ignore reality. It gives you courage to face reality while keeping your hope anchored in God. And when grief has touched your life, do not rush yourself through it. God understands your tears, your questions, and your memories, and He can meet you in the valley without demanding that you pretend everything is fine. Healing can be gradual, and hope can return one day at a time. Now I want you to hear something about courage. because the next chapter may require you to take a step you have been avoiding. Perhaps a conversation, a new opportunity, a creative project, a healthier boundary, a decision to forgive, or simply the courage to begin again. Courage does not mean you feel no fear. It means you refuse to let fear make every decision for you. You can be afraid and still move forward with wisdom, prayer, and faith. And remember that not every opportunity is automatically from God. So test it, pray about it, seek wise counsel, consider the consequences, and allow peace and wisdom to guide you, rather than excitement alone. Because God's direction is not built on manipulation, panic, or pressure. It produces wisdom, humility, love, and good fruit. And I also want you to make room for community, because you were never designed to walk through everything alone. Allow trustworthy people into your life, people who pray with you, encourage you, challenge you when necessary, and celebrate your growth without competing with you. Some seasons require solitude, but isolation should not become your permanent home. And as you grow, remember that your purpose is not only about what you receive, it is also about what you give. Your testimony may become encouragement for someone who is currently standing where you once stood. Your experience may help someone feel less alone, and your kindness may become the answer to another person's prayer. So do not underestimate the impact of one faithful life, one conversation, one prayer, one act of compassion, or one decision to keep going. My beloved child, I am not asking you to understand your entire future today. I am asking you to trust me with the next step. You may not see the whole road, but you can take today's step, pray today's prayer, do today's work, forgive today's offense, rest today, and remain faithful today, because a meaningful life is often built through ordinary acts of faithfulness repeated over time. And when the season changes, you may look back and realize that the small steps were preparing you for something much larger than you could see. So lift your head, breathe deeply, release what you cannot control, and place tomorrow in God's hands. The past can teach you, but it does not have to imprison you. The present can be difficult, but it does not have to destroy your hope. And the future may be uncertain, but it is not outside God's sight. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not too late, and you are not beyond redemption. There is still beauty ahead. There are still people you can love, lessons you can learn, prayers you can pray, dreams you can pursue, and good things you can contribute to this world. So walk forward with humility, courage, wisdom, and faith. Do not chase a miracle so aggressively that you miss the quiet work God is already doing in you. Do not measure God's love by how quickly circumstances change, and do not believe that every delay means rejection. Sometimes growth happens underground before anything becomes visible, like a seed developing roots before it ever breaks through the soil. Trust the process. Keep preparing, keep praying, keep learning, keep serving, and keep your heart open, because your story is not finished. And the chapter ahead does not have to look like the chapters behind you. Today can be a new beginning, not because everything suddenly becomes perfect, but because you choose to walk into the future with God instead of fear. And when you feel weak, remember that you can ask for strength. When you feel confused, ask for wisdom. When you feel lonely, seek healthy community. When you feel discouraged, return to Scripture. And when you feel overwhelmed, stop and rest in God's presence. You do not need to have every answer right now. You simply need to remember who holds your life. So go forward, my beloved child, with your heart open and your faith grounded, knowing that God sees you, loves you, guides you, and can use every part of your story for His glory. Your next season may not happen exactly as you imagined, but it can still become something beautiful, meaningful, and full of purpose. So rise with hope, walk with courage, and trust God with the journey, because your story is still being written, and there is more ahead than you can see right now.